Should we talk about how Whoopi Goldberg got her name Whoopi?
We definitely can. I can also talk about the U.S. Olympic surfing.
Okay,
I watched it
I
for a half
love the
hour,
Olympics.
so I know things.
I love the Olympics.
I know you do love the Olympics.
I love the Olympics so much. I can't even... I've shared my Peacock account with like 17 people. I'm like, you guys gotta watch the Olympics. And I
wait,
have
am I
to
one
talk
of them?
about...
Oh, God.
I went down this rabbit hole because Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg are not doing Olympic highlights together. Kevin Hart is doing it with like fucking Kenan Thompson.
No.
So we have a lot to cover. Should we go back to Whoopi or should we go to the Olympics?
I think it's I love you, Whoopi, but we can save your story for another time.
So I'm wondering, was Snoop Dogg too funny for Kevin Hart? Kevin Hart
Probably.
had a little ego problem, so he's like, no.
Keyword little. Sorry, couldn't help.
Snoop Dogg is like off doing his own thing, I think, with Martha.
Oh, and Martha's gonna review?
I think they're going somewhere doing something. I don't know.
She's kind of cool, though. I grew to like her.
She freaking went to jail. I can't. I love it.
I know, but like, she went to jail for a non-heinous crime. Was it just tax fraud or something?
Wait, did I ever tell you the story that I went to their like corporate offices? By like
Martha's?
Yes. When I worked at that like kind of crafty company that I first joined, they were trying to get like her endorsement for one of the little machines we made, and nobody would pick up our phone calls, so I dressed.
No.
I swear to
like
God,
Martha?
we had this whole heist. I dressed like the preppiest of preppy people. I wore my hair insane. And I just walked into the building and was like, I need to see this person. I made it up.
Were you Christina Applegate
I
and Don't Tell Mom the babysitter said?
I
You're like, now
was.
I'm the CEO.
I'm on it, Rose. And we walked in and we had a note to this woman and we dropped the machine on her desk.
Oh my
like
God.
A stalker. And then I walked around. But the point of my stupid story is everywhere in her office is extremely white cleanliness desk. So
interesting. Like, so she doesn't sit there.
Well,
is that what we're saying?
No one has anything personal and no, it's not just, I didn't even see her desk. Everyone's desk was like super white. With, like, a computer, a keyboard, maybe a pencil holder, and, like, that's it. Like, everything was, like, spotless.
I wouldn't do well with that setup,
Well, and
personally.
then I remember leaving being like, I don't know. So maybe prison, like, chilled her out, and now they're all messy.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay, back to the surfing.
Okay, Olympics. I watched Point Break first.
Yes.
Excellent Olympics.
Excellent.
Like, I'm ready. It's not as fast-paced as, like, our Point Break surfing montages, because there's a lot of, like, we're all floating in water, waiting for waves. But I did learn some things. I learned that when they dive under a wave on their board, it's called a duck dive.
Oh!
And it's very important, because where they're surfing in Tahiti, which is about almost 10,000 miles away from Paris, but it's a France-owned something. So Tahiti has waves. So that's where they're doing the surfing. All the surfing competitions is in Tahiti, which is beautiful.
Wow.
But the area that they surf in is only like 3 to 4 meters of water. And then it's like scary coral reef. And they're like, well, gotta be careful. So a lot of the surfers were wearing helmets, which is definitely not in Point Break. And
Bodhi's not wearing a helmet in Point Break.
No, def not. And then, it was just really cool. And they wipe out a lot. But I think it's because of, like, the waves. And I don't know, like, because you got to rack up points. So it's kind of like you have to try on waves. And then depending on your score, you have different, like, positions in the ocean. Because there's 3 of them at a time. So if you're the best one, I think you have, like, the front position. And then you can, like, start farther down the wave, which means, like, you could kind of have a better chance of, like, doing well. But if you fuck up, then, like, somebody else could, like, take your spot.
And then you got to swim all the way back out.
You got to swim back out.
There's strategy.
Very interesting. And then they're like, and here's all the spectators. And it was, like, 20 boats chilling, like, 10 feet over there. And I was like, that's weird, but okay. Like, why can't they spectate on the beach? But fine, we'll be in a boat.
If my daughter, Kate, is like, Mom, I'm gonna go to the Olympics for surfing, I'd be like, this is the best vacation of my life. Because we're just gonna go somewhere beautiful, and I'll sit in Tahiti and cheer you on until I lose my voice, and everybody's winning. You're surfing.
I'll be there too.
I'm in Tahiti. You're with me. Life's good.
They also, this is insane. They have people who work for the Olympics who float at random spots in the water and they hold a camera. And sometimes they're, like, in the wave. And it's just like, how else are you going to get the shot, guys? And I was like, what the fuck?
Do you think that's, like, is that, like, the creme de la creme cameraman job? Or is that, like, the intern job, you know?
I don't know. I was like, wow, that's a lot of, like, kicking. A lot of buoyancy happening. So... It was cool. This was just like the preliminary heats, though. And then they narrow it down, and then I think the finals are another day for women's surfing.
I
so
love
cool.
the Olympics!
It's so cool. I know, it's so
God.
cool. Listeners, you should listen back to our Mighty Ducks 2 episode because they go to the made-up Children Olympics, or whatever the fuck it was called. Team USA all the way. And then you can also watch our review of the movie Miracle, which was based on actual Winter Olympics. Oh, and Cool Runnings. Wow, a lot of, like, Winter Olympics. Where are the Summer Olympic sport movies?
Oh, summer gets ignored. Absolutely.
Really? You think so?
Besides, like, some gymnastics movies, I mean, it's not a lot.
I really want to watch the breakdancing, too. That's a new Olympic category.
My fucking mouth is on the floor. Let's do it.
Woo!
Sisters, sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters, sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, 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 sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello!
Hello!
Hi.
Hey.
Where you been?
Hey.
Just
Surfing.
kidding. You're all up in our junk because our stats are blowing up!
Thank you guys for that. That's been great.
It's
Let's
been
keep that
busy. We're here. Listen, we'll cheer.
Coming, Grandma. Welcome back, listeners.
Hi, how are you?
Or welcome for the first time. We're going to introduce ourselves so you know who is surfing or committing felonies. It's not us, but maybe. Listeners, we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
Oh, quotes. I don't know. The only quote I have written down is, "What's mine is yours." And that's said by Bodhi to Johnny about Lori Petty.
I cannot.
I got a lot of throuple vibes.
I cannot.
There was many moments where people should have made out with each other, and they didn't, and it was a missed opportunity. Okay.
Okay, here's the deal.
What's the movie, Bridge?
It is the 1991, I guess, iconic surfing movie.
Yeah.
I guess. Point Break.
Woo!
You are doing the synopsis?
No, I think I did.
No!
Yeah, I think I did. I know what you did last summer. That was me. It was me.
Okay, let me just
You
take
can do
it in.
Take
Let
a
me
breath.
take it in.
Do a duck dive.
Let me do a
under the
duck
wave.
dive.
Get yourself
I gotta
positioned
Google.
right.
An FBI agent goes
Oh.
undercover as a surfer to see if they are the gang that has been robbing banks.
And they are.
Okay, we are dealing
Confirmation confirmed. Yep.
with 1991. Spoiler alert, Katie was born in 1991.
Woo!
And it was a fucking fantastic year. Although
was.
this movie needed to check itself. Oh,
Whoa.
I said it!
Damn.
We're starring Johnny Utah.
Okay.
That is played by Keanu Reeves. I know that he is not the most emotional actor, but he is so dreamy. I just freaking love him. I'm sorry.
I do like looking at him.
I'm
gotta
sorry.
Say.
I'm just
like
starry-eyed.
watching him punch people. Like
he
watching
is
him,
a washed-up football player who got hurt and then somehow pivoted all the way to the FBI. He's green, he's hungry, and he's ready to fight crime. So he gets set up in, what, L.A.? That's where we're at? L.A.?
Somewhere.
Somewhere on the California coast.
Yeah.
And as he realizes his first case, he is teamed up with the most epic partner, who's Gary Busey.
Gary Busey!
Oh, this is super whacked out Gary Busey.
Have we ever done a movie with Gary Busey?
I don't remember, and I would be shocked if we didn't, but I can't remember.
The only one that I thought of, and I can't remember if it was Gary Busey, or doesn't he have a brother? Isn't there another Busey?
Probably.
That's an actor? Okay, because remember, we guest starred on the Women Who Starcast podcast, and we did a movie review of Contact, and there was a crazy guy who ended up trying to do an assassination, and it was a Busey, but I don't remember if it was Gary or someone else. So, y'all know Gary, you know? You know him.
Well, back to the plot, Kate.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
So, Keanu Reeves is ready to fight some crime. And apparently, there are some bank robbers that are just freaking going nuts here in California. Yeah. They are hitting things up. They're clean. They're stealth. They're smooth. It's almost as if they're surfers. So, Gary Busey has a theory. And his theory is maybe they actually are surfers. It only happens in the summer. They're super team-oriented. They're athletic. It's gotta be my one and only, lead. So Keanu Reeves is like, you know what? Maybe I'll just go try to surf. And he's like, which, by the way, I've done this myself. He's the guy that wore the t-shirts concert, the concert t-shirt to the words,
what?
Bridget. You ever, I had somebody tell me this. I went to a concert and I wore the band's t-shirt to the concert, and they were like, Bridget, you can't do that. And that's what so that was his, surfer vibe, where he rolled up with,
that's a good description.
Please edit that and help me make that make sense.
Okay, we'll see.
So he rolls up in a wetsuit and a surfboard, and Lori Petty is like, you suck at surfing. This is my spot. I hate you. Go away. So then he's like, uh-oh, I guess I can't just randomly surf. Let me go back to my crazy FBI machine, figure out an angle. I'll go back to Lori Petty, who is like the love interest named Tyler.
Oh,
okay. And so he figures out an in, asks her for surf lessons, and then slowly meets the other star, which is Patrick Swayze, who is played
Swayze
by Bodhi.
Respect, right hand, because he passed.
Respect.
We love
he
him.
is a stud, and he is kind of bizarre in this movie. I never thought of him like a surfer. I always thought of him as like macho dudes, whatever. It's super fun. They're all young. They're just having fun surfing and being spiritual, whatever. And then, boy, oh boy, Keanu Reeves finds out a little dark, dark secret that Patrick Swayze is the bank robber.
Yeah.
And they go into the crazy chase of trying to get them, but not trying to get them, and trying to figure it out, and it becomes a whole long, crazy canoodle, and we'll just talk about it.
This was one of those movies oh my god, which one was that? We did one recently where you were like, I thought it was over, and then it kept happening.
That was Elizabethtown.
Okay, but that's how this movie was.
Absolutely.
Where I was like, anyway, all done. And then I was like, oh god, it's not done. All right, now we're concluded. Oh god, now we're not.
Nope, we're not. We're not. This is a ridiculous movie. I'm sorry. Let's get into it. Did I miss anything in the plot? I mean, it's kind of simple.
No.
Oh, wait. I wanted to tell you a line. So James, for those that don't know me, that's my husband. He sat down on the couch. He's like, oh, are you watching Point Blank? Or Point Break? I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, yeah, all right. I'll just watch a little bit. And then he watched the entire movie with me.
Classic.
And the line he said that cracked me up is, he was like, people let movies get away with a lot more back then. He was like, this is kind of bad. He's like, the lines were pretty ridiculous. And the story arc's kind of weird, but they're two cool guys that we all love. And so we just made this movie iconic, but it's kind of bizarre.
It gets very Kismet. Obviously came out in the 90s, because in the 90s we were super extreme. Everything's extreme. And the kids were extreme. Ninja Turtles and Surf Ninjas and Karate Kids and, 3 Ninjas. It was a lot of adrenaline.
Oh my
which is
god.
Kind of a plot point, which is...
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, we did start off with waves. I did think of Surf Ninjas. I'm not sorry. A about it at all. But we do see a bank robbery right away.
Right away.
Which they're all wearing old dead president masks, and they call themselves the Dead Presidents.
I can't.
And then they're yelling at people, and then they steal money, and then they leave, and nobody catches them. Weren't there security cameras, like, to look at license plates of car? No? I don't know. I found some questions.
I found, this was also something James brought up. They don't have the right technology to find these guys, but somehow if we get a speck of hair,
Yes.
we could have a Jurassic Park lab
What?
in the FBI office that, like, immediately finds a DNA match. I'm like, I don't think that's how that works today.
What about even Lori Petty's character where he's like, look up her profile? And I'm like, how do you know her name and last name? And what do you mean? You have her entire, like, life story on a computer? I don't understand.
It's like, she's a Capricorn that has a Gemini moon.
Just,
Her favorite color's green. I'll ask about Starburst. What?
Yeah. I had questions, but
I can't.
Keanu is, I don't know what order movie this was for him in his lineup.
Let's look that up.
Like, was
Keep
this
talking.
early? I feel like it might have been early for him. But he's not bad. He doesn't have a lot of emotions, but it's fine, because I guess that's what happens when you're a cop, is you're not allowed to giggle. As we see by every other cop character in this movie, and I was
wait. Huh? So Bill and Ted, right?
Oh, thank God.
He did some other ones. Those were in the 80s.
Okay.
And then he does this one after it, and then does Speed 3 years later. So you know, he was kind of like getting his feet wet into, like, action.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great action star, and he got to do a lot of, like, fight scenes, which was really great to see. But, Bridge, right away I get distracted because his name is Johnny Utah.
I can't.
It
a
sounds
porn
like
name. It's a porn name. It's an absolute porn name.
I thought of, like, a cartoon character.
Wow,
so
we live in different brains. Oh my God, I'm embarrassed.
But he's like, yay, I get to go do my first day of work at some place. And the first person he talks to is the actor who plays Dr. Cox in Scrubs. And he's just like a rude guy who yells at him the whole time and insults him. And I was like, but didn't you hire him? ? And then that guy leaves. And I was like,
wait,
okay.
Can we have to talk about his line where he's like, I love it when he's young, dumb
and full of cum.
Full of cum.
Is that why you thought of the porn star, Bridge? Were you a little
Maybe
colored by Dr. Cox?
Thank you for helping me not sound so horrible. I just was like, wait, we're in minute 2 of the movie.
Yeah.
And I am already hearing someone say to someone else, like, you're just full of cum. That's bizarre.
And I don't think that's how that works.
I don't think that's the first day of the job chat. I don't think that's how
I feel like
onboarding goes. I don't think
HR's gonna be busy with that one. So.
Well, and then he gets to, somehow, Gary Busey is training for the FBI, blindfold jumping in a pool to get bricks. And he's complaining about it, but because he's blindfold, he goes on and on about how he's so pissed about his new partner, and then Keanu Reeves is like, hey, take the blindfold off. It's me.
They fucking had a line where Gary Busey's like, I don't know what diving for bricks has to do for the police. And I was like, me neither.
Me either.
And it doesn't have anything to do with the plot. So did you guys just have a pool rented that you were like, yes, we'll fucking have a scene here?
What are we doing?
What does it have to do with solving crimes? And also, wasn't Gary Busey a police officer for like over 20 years? Because everyone keeps being like, you're washed up, old man. And I was like, why are there bullies on our first day of work? Why can't we just fucking say hello? What's your name? Like, I don't understand. There were so many cop bullies to each other. That's not how we have an organization successfully work, you guys. No wonder you can't catch the bank robbers, because they actually like each other, and you guys don't get it.
I just love that everyone's like, he's so green, and I'm like,
what does that mean?
At one point, he says he's 25.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know FBI math, but if like the backstory is he was like almost gonna go pro in football and hurt his knee, so he was a huge college football player.
Is that the real backstory? That's like real. That's like canon.
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't know if Bodhi, Patrick Swayze's character, was saying like a made-up story to cover for his new friend that he had a man crush on. And then everyone just blindly agreed. And then he also was like, totally. But maybe it was part of his backstory, and I didn't know.
I mean, I believed it.
Okay, so let's just say it is.
Okay.
Maybe we'll look it up. Yeah.
Well, and so he then, so let's say you're 21 when you graduate college. So in 4 years, he like pivots his whole life to then get into the FBI? That's pretty young. How'd he do it?
Well,
What was his major? How did he get that job?
It's bringing me back to Silence of the Lambs, because I'm pretty sure in that episode we did try to do the math of like, wait, because she was also really young.
She was a cadet.
And she was in the FBI. And we were like, wait, how'd she do it? There? Yeah. Also, maybe our country needs police reform. I don't know. Maybe we're just getting people in there too quick. I don't know. Those bullies probably shouldn't have been hired, but they were. So.
I'll tell you this. They immediately pop in a VHS tape to check out the latest bank robbery, and I thought, well, this is humbling.
And there's a shot in the bank robbery where one of the bank robbers moons the people who just were traumatized, and he wrote thank you on his ass.
I can't. We gotta bring back mooning.
Do we? Or...
We do, because I'll tell you, I mooned a ton on the bus. No! Are you kidding? On the bus? If you sat in the back of the bus, you're mooning the car behind you.
Mooning! What if your grandma was there? What if our grandma was there?
She would giggle. She'd say, those kids, that's hysterical. Actually, one of our grandmothers would say, you put on some pounds.
God damn it. Rest in peace, Nana. We miss you, bitch. Gosh.
Love you, bitch.
Lord. Mooning's a lot. And I just was kind of like, I thought of Grease, where I thought of a lot of other movies when I watched this movie. Grease. And I was like, wait, what if they had the FBI involved with identifying the butt? So, like, I don't know, guys. Just, like, be careful.
Be careful with your butts.
Yeah.
Watch your butt.
But, Gary Busey is like, my theory is that they are surfers because something, they move around to different parts of the country with the season, something, and they only steal money, but it's quick and they never, like, kill anyone or hurt anyone. And then also something about, like, the surfboard wax. They, like, found...
The sex
wax residue somewhere and something. And then Keanu's like, excellent, I'm all in it. Let me go buy a surfboard from a 10-year-old boy.
Oh my God.
Who will then say to him...
Do you know who that actor was?
Oh my God, who was it?
Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead.
Oh no! Which...
He was one of the
kids in that movie.
He was the dating guy. He dated one of the 13-year-olds, remember?
Okay.
And do you remember him?
I do. Didn't he, like, the actor grew up and had a drug problem?
Yeah, it was bad.
Okay, it's probably from this movie because this kid definitely looked high. And he was like, hey, man, it's, like, the best ever. And Keanu was like, I'm a man and you're a kid and I didn't ask. And he's like, you're, like, old, but it's fine. And that's where he says, I'm 25. And he goes, yeah, like I said, you'll be fine. I was like, okay, we gotta go.
Oh, my God.
And I guess the police know that now Keanu is trying to surf on company pay. Like, he gets to go try to surf, but he doesn't know how to surf.
Best job ever.
The FBI doesn't want to pay for surf lessons, ? So he just has to go and, like, get the shit kicked out of him. And then, thank God Lori Petty was there because she's like, this is embarrassing and I gotta, like, shut this shit down. Stop being embarrassing.
Have you ever surfed? Let's talk about
I really want to, though. But I actually don't think I'd be good at it at all. But I would want to try.
You should always try everything in life. It's hard.
Yeah, I think it's really hard.
I think it's super hard. And unless you have like a really long board with beautiful, relaxing waves, which this was not the vibe. They were like big, giant waves.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, I don't understand how he's so good at surfing this quickly. I listen, Johnny Utah.
It's because Lori Petty taught him after he stalked her. And
she definitely, the whole dying parents vibe was kind of a weird. Should we explain that to the listeners?
So her parents died in a plane crash when she was 10?
Something sad.
Yeah, but he uses that against her when he does his, like, creepy stalking internet search. And then he goes to her place of work and makes up a fake story about how his parents are dead. And I said, if Google existed, none of this would happen.
None of this would happen. And also,
none of this would be real.
He was such a committed agent. I was like, what happened to football? Why are we so into
he hurt his knee.
I know, but like passion-wise, I'm like, why are you so obsessed with your job? Because he went remember with Gary Busey? He's like, if you just want to phone it in and we'll never find these guys, then you should phone it in. And you're like,
yeah,
Keanu, this is like day 3 of the job. Like, it's a marathon, bro. We're talking hamster wheel. Are you trying to get promoted? What's happening?
A lot of yelling happening, and I was like, I'm gonna quit this job that I don't work for because I'm upset about the culture happening here.
Keanu, I quit.
I quit, Keanu. Stop it.
Okay, but then Lori Petty's like fun.
She is fun.
She's
I
like a good time. She always just rips on all the dudes.
Yep.
And she would fit right along with this podcast. She would sit right next to us.
Oh, I fucking wish she was here on the podcast.
I want to know her vibe in life. I feel like she's like the latest with Orange is the New Black. Like she's a trip, man. She's like, what is she like, you know?
I'd like to think she is just like this character, because I was like, best personality. Thank God you're here. And so Keanu, basically, she teaches him how to surf in like one day. And I'm like, that's pretty magical. And then they go and meet some other surfers. And there's a fucking scene that I laughed out loud, and the movie didn't want me to laugh at it, but I did. Where like her and him are like, all right, we're done for surfing. And then the music's like, dun, dun, dun. And it fucking zooms in on who later we find out are all the bank robbers. And she, unprompted, he doesn't ask. She's like, that's so-and-so. He's like this. That's Blue. And I was like, wait, did he... Okay, that's weird. It's almost like you wanted me to know them because they're bad. And then she's like, and that's Bodhi. He's crazy! And I was like, oh, God. Okay, hey, Patrick Swayze. And then he is crazy. And it's crazy.
He gives serious culty vibes.
Yeah, he would be a really good cult leader. I feel like he kind of was already.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was a fucking lot. And when does he end up meeting Bodhi? Because I have notes here saying about that scene where I was like, LOL.
Well,
and then
Bodhi comes up and kisses Lori Petty, and Keanu's like, oh, hey. And then I thought, oh, she already has a boyfriend, Keanu, so you're not going to hit it. And then Bodhi's like, what's mine is yours. And I thought, that's disgusting. And it's not yours. She's her own person.
Are you going to be a throuple? And then are you guys going to ditch Lori Petty and date each other? But he's like trying to include her to like make it.
I didn't get those vibes. You got those vibes that they were definitely...
There were so many scenes where I was like, kiss.
I mean, when he...
Between Patrick Swayze and Keanu.
When he has the chance to shoot him and he doesn't, I thought, a little weak.
They had a lot of longing looks at each other, Bridge, and I was like, I don't know. It's somebody's fan fiction in the world. Ooh. It exists somewhere where they're making...
As you would say, someone needs to write a Reddit thread.
Write a Reddit thread. Write a fanfic. I'll read it and give you a like. But anyway, so we do meet them, and they bond, and they play a game of football, and then this is where Bodhi's like, he's a famous football player from bloody blah blah, and I support him, and now we're best friends. And I was like, wow, lucky you, dude. Also, we know that he's a famous football player, but nobody knows he's a cop. He doesn't hide very well that he's a cop, in my opinion.
I thought the same thing.
Just so many scenes where I was like, uh-oh, you're gonna get found out, sir. And then, I don't know, people are dumb, so they don't. And
in his wallet, literally, he has a card that's like, I'm an FBI in my wallet. Yeah. I'm like, I mean, okay, but really? That can't be how it works. Is that how it works? Any FBI agents listen to us? How does it work? You can not say your name, but like just tell us how it works. Thanks.
Please tell me. And also please tell me if you have technology where it can find chemicals in something that leads us to a toxic beach ? Where is the EPA? That then leads us to scary surfers who literally jump us in public day because one of the surfers ran over Keanu Reeves. Huh?
I can't.
What the fuck?
I don't know that technology.
I don't... Because he's going around ripping people's hair! And he's like, you got a bug on you, and he yanks at their fucking hair.
But it's just... Gary Busey's like, alright, man. By the way, Gary Busey's teeth take up his whole fucking face. He's like, alright, man. Yes. By the way, this is how I'm talking, listeners, with my teeth out. Alright, man. Gary
you look
Busey.
at him a little with that, yeah.
Yeah. He just... I feel like he's like, alright, well, just go surf. And he's like, alright, well, just... Let's go get some chunks of hair from people. All right. I'm like, okay. Who's leading this? Because you're like the veteran dude, and this feels like when somebody says to me, Bridge, we gotta cook in 10 minutes, use what's in the fridge. That's how they did strategy with this case. It was ridiculous.
Gary Busey, at this part, he's sitting in a car parked along a highway, and he's using binoculars to watch Keanu Reeves surf. What are we learning, Gary? Because like, are you trying to learn how to surf and you're just doing some like observational learning? Because I didn't understand. And Bodhi comes in and he helps Keanu beat up the rest of the surfer dudes, but then they're all like friends, and then they all go to the same party that night. And I don't know how that works, because, again, I'm afraid, but Keanu was, like, just kept hanging out with scary people.
Well, the thing that was so crazy is he's like, all right, they're he was very, this part was believable. He's like, all right, I want to get the guys, and I'm a surfer, so now I'm just going to pick the first obvious 4 surf dudes that it is. And so it was a nice little, movie was like, oh, you think it's these obvious guys, but they're just actually meth addicts. They're not actually bad guys. So the fighting of him, and then Gary Busey trying to help, and then going to the party later, and then fighting again. It was this kind of case of like, we gotta get their house. This is it. Get the warrant. No fucking, I don't know, triple checking our work, and we just go for it.
Only 4 dudes do this raid? Why weren't there more police? What do you mean?
I don't know, but it got bad, Kate.
Wait, and this is so fucking funny too, because Keanu is at this party and he's hanging with Lori Petty, and she's like, Bodhi is like crazy and he'll take you to the edge. And I was like, and he'll throw you off, because he does that to a bunch of people out of a plane, and it's not safe at all. He'll also shoot you, and so many other terrible things. And then her and Keanu bone on a beach.
I can't.
I hope we had a blankie, because it's not a good time.
Wait, have you ever done any naughty bits on a beach?
Yes.
Okay. It's hard.
It's what I mean. You gotta be strategic.
And the sands are everywhere.
Yeah. And it's not the funnest.
But I gotta say, waking up on the beach is like really cool.
Well, it would be cool if then Keanu wasn't like, oh no, I'm late for my own raid. He literally goes from boning to the raid and doesn't even have breakfast or coffee.
Or go to the bathroom.
And he doesn't go to the bathroom.
That's a UTI for a woman, you know?
And then after the fucking raid, he immediately goes back to boning. The very next scene after everything that goes down. Oh my god,
this guy, Johnny Utah, is insane.
He's like, I gotta get that.
Is this why I thought he was a porn star?
Maybe. But let's talk about the raid, because this was
first of all, this movie does not pass the Bechdel test, okay?
Definitely not. No women talk to each other. Ever.
No women talk to each other.
No, so there is no... I guess then they failed the test.
They failed the test.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, and then even the women in this house just have to be naked, so we just have to see their tits. Like, come on.
I do want to give a fucking shout out to the butt-naked lady who... beat up a lot of guys.
Who started stabbing people?
She got a lot of hits in there, and I was like, you know what? Props to you, because
she's like, I just
conditioned
my hair. I'm gonna murder you all.
I have to double wash it. Ah!
Oh my god, I can't.
Yeah, this is just, the whole thing feels so botched because the bad surfer guys like realize something's up, so they get a bunch of scary guns. Lots of people get shot. Gary Busey says he's looking for a dog. I don't know.
I can't wait. Can we talk about Keanu Reeves' extender
what
mirror?
Was that? That was some Harriet the Spy bullshit.
Can you describe what that is to the listeners?
I don't know what it is. It's like a radio antenna from the Brave Little Toaster, but it had a mirror on it. But the mirror was the size of my pinky nail. So what am I seeing in the mirror?
He hid under a windowsill. He extended this 1 inch by 1 inch mirror, and somehow he saw some dude lying on bed while some other woman was naked. He was like, oh god, they're right there. And then all of a sudden he sees that they're getting a ton of guns. Yeah. And so on the walkie-talkie, so we're outside the window, we're just going to get on the walkie-talkie. No one's going to hear us. Okay.
Well, it's fine, Bridge, because there was a lawnmower.
Well, yeah, so he tries to tell people, but the lawnmower goes off, and he's like, Gary Busey is definitely gonna die, and then all hell breaks loose. And it's a crazy fight, gun, chaos scene.
I don't know how Gary Busey didn't die, or the lady, because he kind of grabbed the lady to come into the house, and I thought, like, he used her as a human shield, and I was like, damn, Gary Busey, but then she was, like, not dead, and I was like, oh, okay. But some guys do die. I think, like, 2 dudes.
A lot of people die.
The bad guys end up dying. None of the good guys die.
But Keanu Reeves almost gets his face in a lawnmower.
I hate it. I was
that felt real. Was that was that like a real shot?
No, I thought of that. I was like, is CGI a thing? Because, like, should we sue someone? I don't know. That's so scary.
Keanu, your face was next to a lawnmower.
I feel like that had to be CGI, though, because even the surfing scene at the end, I was like, there's no way that's him falling off a 40, 50, 60-foot wave, and I don't
know.
Well, it was scary, and I hated it. And then I also hated the next part, because there's more yelling of, there's a man who I thought was a bad guy, but then he's like, I'm an undercover cop with the DEA.
God.
I've been working on this for 40 years. This is where I thought of Jingle All the Way, with Arnold Schwarzenegger pretending to be someone. Except he wasn't, but this guy actually was. And then Keanu got in trouble, and I was like, I'm sorry, you're telling me the police don't talk with the police that they also work with about things happening, and now I'm in trouble because nobody talks? What do you mean? Huh. Why didn't I know about that? And also, why didn't that guy just, like, arrest those people? Because he knew there was lots of drugs, so I just didn't like the yelling.
I just think their technologies didn't match. Okay, we have extendable 1-inch mirrors, and then we have lab DNA tests that could basically make dinosaurs. There was no in between. Their systems are not integrated, so the DEA, the FBI don't know what's happening. And then, Gary Busey's using binoculars. Nothing makes sense. Okay? Johnny Utah can't even get a shower.
Well, and then that's where Johnny goes back to boning. He doesn't get fired magically. And then he goes and surfs with Bodhi and all them. And I was like, is Bodhi not know that his acquaintances are dead people? Like, we don't know that? We're not, like, a little worried? We're just, like...
Never thought about it.
Catching waves and, like,
Wait, when does he bring his giant pink surfboard back to the office to get yelled at?
Oh my god, I don't know. It was great.
That was so funny. I was just like, what's happening? He's like, hey bro, I didn't want to leave my board on my car because I'm going to be stolen. I'm like, that looks like it was $12 from Walmart.
I mean, this is part of the plot of the movie, is like, even though Keanu started the surfing just for this, then he like ends up really liking it, and you're like, cute, but also lives are on the line. Okay? So stop surfing, stop boning, talk to the police. Get the fuck together.
Okay, but with Lori Petty, when he bones her and is like, I gotta tell you something.
Oh my god.
I was like, wait, Love Actually, go back to our episode for Love Actually. You have talked for maybe a month.
No, I don't even think it's been that long.
Maybe a couple weeks, and we're head over heels in love, gonna tell her that we're an FBI agent. Isn't that like the number one thing you shouldn't do with your job, is you can't tell anyone you're an FBI agent?
It really is.
I feel like that's the only requirement, right?
It really fucking is. And that's why I was like, how do the other surfers who got arrested not tell their other surfer friends that, hey, it was that guy that
his fucking face was in a lawnmower. How do they not know what his face looks like?
No, I don't know, but there is a scene, Bridge, and I don't know if I wrote it or where it is. There is a scene where they go, like, night surfing, and, like, Keanu and Bodhi have a moment.
Okay.
There's hand-holding.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Romantic nighttime, and Keanu's like, I've never felt this way before, and that's when I was like, kiss, kiss, kiss. That's just me on the shore, do it.
If I got invited to some cool-ass surfer beach house party, and I'm living it up. By the way, they were living it up. We're doing shots. We're doing all sorts of drugs. Everything's so crazy.
Surf lore.
We're talking surf lore. We're around a campfire. And then someone says, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go surf. I'd be like, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, isn't that when the sharks are out?
Absolutely not happening.
I've seen this in a horror movie.
What's happening? And then, yeah, you're right. He had this, like, spiritual moment. But you know what's funny? I never looked at it like they should kiss. But now I should watch it again with that lens. This is how I felt with Superbad. I could have sworn they were in love.
There are just so many moments. And then for whatever reason, and I think it's because after him and Lori Petty bone, then they're like, let's go surfing now. Everybody's learning how. And he sees Bodhi and his 3 other friends are in a line catching a wave. And he somehow is then like, oh my God, it's just like the 4 bank robbers who stand next to each other. It's them! And I was like, wow, big leap, but also correct. And then he's like really fucking weird. And he's like, I gotta go. Don't tell anyone. Bye. And I was like, you're the worst undercover cop ever, sir. This is so bad.
He's like, Blue 42, I'm out.
Blue 42, I'm out. Yeah.
I literally said to James, like the idiot, I was like, wait, are they like the bank robbers? And then James was like, just keep watching. I was like, oh, is that obvious?
You were Keanu, you're like, huh?
And I was like, oh, is Lori Petty like the lead? Because I thought she was like the real manipulator. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'll teach you how to surf, you know? But she secretly was like the crime boss.
That would have been a better twist. What? She also had blue eyes, like the lead bank robber. So we could have done that route.
But yeah, she wasn't. They were, and then it starts to escalate, Kate.
This is where I thought we were at the end, and it's not at all the end.
No,
it's
probably the middle.
Gary Busey and Keanu Reeves are like, we're gonna do a stakeout of this one bank that I know that Bodhi and his friends cashed a check, but I think they were really just scoping it out, and so let's stand out here and watch the bank. And then immediately Gary Busey's like, anyway, go buy me food and I'm gonna giggle at a comic.
I need two meatball subs.
2 meatball subs. 2. And then they
give me 2, Johnny.
They missed the bank robbery.
I can't.
You guys should be fired. Like, in the beginning, I was like, don't yell at them, but now I'm a little like, maybe they need to be yelled at.
Blindfolded, getting a brick underwater, and you can't see the bank robbers behind you. You have a rear view mirror.
Honestly, yeah. And then now this is a chase scene, and it's a pretty fun chase. Goes on a while. They're chasing the car, and then some of the guys get in a different car. And then Bodhi goes on foot, and then Keanu's chasing him on foot, and they're running through people's yards.
But that was cool as shit. Okay, so let's give this movie some credit. Yeah. The action. So first of all, the surfing camera, like, footage, amazing.
Did they have someone in the water?
Probably floating. Absolutely. And then the, like, any action scene, whatever, pretty awesome. And this was so cool, because it felt like one long shot where they were chasing each other. I dug it. They were going down backyards. They were going down fences. They ended up in, like, the little place that Grease Lightning would
Grease! Another Grease reference! There was a part where Bodhi threw a dog at Keanu, and I was like, that's too far. Okay? I can excuse exploding gas stations and bank robberies and trauma, but you touched a dog? You threw a dog at someone? You're fucking
threw
sicko.
A dog?
You threw a dog? You fucking
fuck out of here. Go get some coffee and park the car.
But this is where Keanu has a clear shot. He hurts his kneecap, something, and Bodhi's running, and he's got a clear shot. And he can't shoot him because he can't. Loves him.
He's a bitch.
he loves him. Oh, he's a bitch, but he loves him. And it's bad, and he gets away, and then everyone's mad at Keanu, and I was like, I feel like it's strike 87 against him. I don't know why he still has his job, but
I
fine.
can't believe he has a job. All he's done is surfed and, like, literally used the resources to kill people. It's not good.
So he gets yelled at work, and then Lori Petty, I think she finds his badge, because, again, like, we didn't hide it, and she calls him out, and she says, like, did you make up that story about your parents? And he says he did. And she goes, don't you have a soul? And I wrote, I say this and think this often of people. So thank you, Lori, for
also
saying it also.
It was a great line. I was like, ooh. Yeah, I don't think he does. I don't think he's got a soul.
Well, the very next scene from here is, okay, so then that's not the ending, because you're like, well, they got away, and it's like, LOL, JK. And, like, they know who he is now, because he didn't wear a mask.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, who's undercover? Not me, LOL.
And they know he knows that they know it's him.
Yes. So they come, and they, in my opinion, do a kidnapping of him, but they kind of act like, hey buddy, we're gonna do something fun, and then he's acting like, absolutely friends, and I was like, this is the worst acting.
Well, and they go skydiving.
Yeah, they get him on a plane. I'm sorry.
I thought they were just gonna kill him.
I did too. I thought they were gonna give him a pack with no parachute, and I was like, did you check your pack? Oh god, we're already out of the plane. We're already falling. Lotta skydiving montages that I didn't know we would have, because we only had like a half hour left of the movie. Damn.
I'll tell you this. I've never skydived.
Me neither. I would do it, though.
I'm gonna guess, though, it's not 30 minutes long. Because I think that when you jump out of that plane,
it literally,
you fall to earth faster. They were doing...
It felt like a Six Flags stunt show a little bit with some of the stuff they were doing.
It was literally like a ballet. I was like, this is 3 hours long of them.
They did the thing where they all hold hands in a circle and spin, and I was like, damn, okay, that's cool.
Well, and so they didn't kill him, because he hits his parachute and it works, and I think at first they didn't think it would work, but it worked, and then they all survive, and then what happens?
So from here, they're all like, that was fun, and he's like, totally, and I'm like, how are we getting home? But Keanu doesn't seem too perturbed, except then Bodhi's like, hey man, come look at my 90s, 4-inch screen that is weird technology, but it's working in a van and don't ask questions, and it's a kidnapping video of Lori Petty! And he's like, I kidnapped her, and she's going to stay kidnapped and maybe be dead unless you do what we say. And then he's like, God damn it.
He upped the stakes.
Their plan is to rob another bank and have him rob the bank with them.
I, first of all, was like, Bodhi, Patrick Swayze, excuse me, isn't Lori Petty your friend?
I also thought that. I was like, what happened to the throuple that I made up in my brain? That we were all dating
lovers.
Each other.
Why are you gonna use her and kill her? I thought you were buddies. You knew her for a long time. Fucking men.
Don't you have a soul?
So he's kind of like, I know that you know that we know that we all know who's who. But now we have to figure out how to get you somehow screwed with us. Because Bodhi's crew was like, can't we just leave? Like, why are we even dealing with this dude? Let's just leave. And he was like, no.
He's like, I can't leave my boyfriend.
Last time, my boyfriend Keanu.
Like, I might want to, look at him a little longer, guys. Like, I can't leave him in this desert. Don't be silly.
And then what the heck do they do? And then Keanu's like, no, you can't touch Tyler. You got two more Tylers. And so he goes along, and then they all wear president's masks. And
except him.
And this is where I was like, I don't believe this plot, because the best part about these bank robbers is they were clean, smooth, just like cutting those cool pipes on the water, and then all of a sudden they go to the vault, but they never go to the vault, and then he became weird. Why did Patrick Swayze get weird? What was your motivation?
So what I thought was happening, because I just couldn't get out the fact that I thought he wanted to elope with Keanu, was I thought he was like, oh, I'm going to screw over the other guys, and then me and Keanu escape, and then he's gonna forgive me, and then we'll date. And I was like, it's cute. I like it.
Okay.
But I don't think at all that's what was happening. I think it was just my brain. And it's not good. And Keanu, they gave him a gun with no bullets, but he's holding a gun. And then there are there's a security guard and an off-duty cop who are both armed that are like, you know, in the bank as it's being robbed, and they fucking step up, and then we're shooting. People die. It's bad. Bodhi's like, wah, I'm a pacifist. I don't want to hurt people. I just want to traumatize them and make out with you. And then he kills someone. And you're like, well, that's just, we can't have that on our resume anymore, can we? Mr. Surfer Pacifist? I don't think so. I don't fucking think so. And he takes Keanu, and then we go back to... or no, does he leave Keanu? Oh,
so some of his friends, like, die in the bank. And then he takes one dude that's, like, bleeding, and then they go straight to a plane?
Yep.
And then the plane is also awkward, because then Gary Busey's like, I'm coming for you, Keanu.
No, Keanu was with Gary Busey. Okay, this is the ending number 4. So Keanu gets arrested because they're like, you did a bank robbery. And he's like, bitch, I'm undercover and I was a hostage, but nobody cares about that. It's fine. Also, my girlfriend's a hostage. Should we worry about that? Anyone want to help? No? Okay. So then Gary Busey kidnaps Keanu and undoes his handcuffs.
That's right.
And they go to the airport they somehow find them at the airport. I don't know what airport allowed these criminals with guns through TSA. Let me know. Actually don't, because I'm scared, but you know what I mean. And then, yes, there is more deaths. And then somehow this does lead to Bodhi doing another kidnap of Keanu. This is kidnap 8 or something.
And then they do another skydive.
And the one guy was, like, shot. And then Bodhi's like, it's fine. You'll just skydive down and you'll be fine. And I was like, that man's gonna die. Explode because he's not gonna pull his parachute because he's a dead man. But then he did pull his parachute.
He somehow pulled his parachute and he had all the money on him. So I was like, Bodhi, you're like
dead.
Well, and this is where you're like, Bodhi, you're like bad. You're like a bad man. Like, you killed all your friends for money.
You did.
And you, like, preached
Pacifist
and preached
my
about...
butthole.
Yeah, you preached and preached about how you just surf waves and feel the earth and... What?
Huh?
So, Keanu Reeves pulls the most fucking absurd stunt in the entire goddamn world ever.
I screamed.
What?
I screamed.
Is this how he got the Matrix role? Did he just play this? Did he just go to the casting and he goes, I'm gonna play from 1991, Point Break, the scene to tell you I'm perfect for this role. What the fuck? Explain this to listeners.
Keanu he gets kidnapped on the plane, but then he gets left on the plane and Bodhi kicks out his dead, dying friend who has a parachute, and then he's like, now I'm off, bye. And then he goes out with his parachute, and I guess there were no more parachutes, ? So Keanu grabs a gun and probably said some words and then ejects himself from the plane with no parachute, and now he's flying like Superman.
He's a freaking Superman! He's a little bald eagle. He just shoots down. He shoots down, and somehow, I don't think this is physics, he's faster.
No.
He's faster than the guy that left before him. They're probably the same weight. Probably the same height. That's not how physics work. And he somehow just uses his spidey sense, and he catches up to him, and he literally piggybacks on Bodhi, and Bodhi reacted kind of calm.
It wasn't a piggyback. It was actually really close face to face, and I was like, if you guys are gonna kiss,
now's the time.
Better do it now, because we're gonna kerplat pretty soon. And somebody pulls the parachute, and then they're rolling around a parachute, and I was like, again,
adorable.
Nobody's out here to look at guys.
I have to look at this a whole new way.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I don't know what's happening. And the other guy's dead. And
wait, I'm thinking of the sequel, like Point Breakup. Like, I'm just thinking of like. Sorry.
And it's just the remake of The Breakup, the Jennifer Aniston. And
but it's Keanu. Like Keanu and Patrick Swayze fighting about dishes.
That.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, sorry.
Well, so Bodhi is like, I don't know, I guess somehow Bodhi just is allowed to walk away. A car drives up. Lori Petty's on the car, and she runs out in a 90. If I were her, I would have ran away from all these crazy people, but instead she runs towards Keanu and hugs him And then Bodhi leaves, and I don't know, so we all end up alive, and that's when I was like, and now it's over.
And it wasn't. It wasn't for the 500th time. Free Bird from Elizabethtown is on fire at this point. Oh my god. And it's flying through the funeral, and it's not over, and we're thinking to ourselves, oh my god, we got a scrapbook coming up.
And then...
Okay.
And then...
Okay, so then, all I remember is he's on an endless chase to find Patrick Swayze.
But he
finally finds him.
He finds him in Australia. And because something
biggest
storm.
Waves, because the biggest storm in the last 50 years, and it's the biggest waves he'll ever ride, and he knew he'd be there, and he found him.
It's raining, which, I'm sorry, it's a little romantic if you're not crying. And Keanu walks up, and he's very dramatic, gotta say.
I'm just an FBI agent talking to a bank robber, asking him
to surf with
love me.
Oh my god. And he's like, I'm following you. And then Bodhi is like, he's still surfing? And he's like, every day. And I was like, is surfing a metaphor for making out with a framed photo of him? But then, Bridget, Keanu fucking handcuffs himself to Bodhi.
I can't.
The love is exploding. And I said, I swear to fucking God, if these two go and surf via handcuffs,
I thought that was happening.
I'm tapping out, and thank God that doesn't happen. But we were close, I think.
But Keanu's too soft to be an FBI agent, because Bodhi's like, hey,
he
man,
loves him.
I just want one more ride. I'm never going to make it in jail. Just one more ride. It's the only time it's going to happen. And then all the other police officers are like, did you just let him go?
Yeah,
like,
he sure did.
When are we going to fire Johnny Utah? Or is he just going to keep getting, like, he's going to fall upwards and get promoted after this?
Probably. And then, yeah, Bodhi goes to surf on one of those giant waves, and then I guess he dies? Question mark? But we're not sure. Could be, I don't know, he could return for a sequel. And then that's where Johnny throws away his badge, and I said, are you quitting? And then the movie's like, shut the fuck up, we're done. I was like, okay. Because I think when Johnny's like, Bodhi's dead, now
I could finally give up.
I'm also done.
And, like, where's Lori Petty? We don't know. We don't know anything.
I hope she ran for the fucking hills from these crazy people, because god damn it, that woman needs therapy.
Would you die if she, like, surfed the perfect wave in Australia and she just, like, gives them the finger and she, like, flies by them?
She runs over Bodhi on a surfboard and yes, that would be amazing. Oh my god.
Okay,
wow.
Well, what do you think? Like, watch it or don't watch it?
Like Elizabethtown, it was a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
And there is some plot, but it was entertaining.
It was entertaining.
I don't think I'm watching it again.
It does not age well. The lines are horrible. It's super sexist, and there's like literally only women just for like male props in the movie. It's absurd.
Yeah, and I want that one woman who beat everyone up naked to, like, I don't know, get an award or something for her troubles, because that was something. Well, Bridge.
Wow.
I have our next pick.
Ooh.
But actually, I have two choices, so you're going to have to help me.
Oh.
Both of them involve, technically, the ocean.
Oh.
Both of them, technically, involve children, or a child, I guess I should say. One is from the 90s, and one is from the 2010. Hold me. I'm not saying anything. Hold on. Let me find when the other one is from. 2011 is the other one I'm thinking. Both are seasonal.
Nope.
Both
I know what I want to watch.
A little emotional.
I know what I want to watch. I already know what I want to watch.
Which one do you want?
Free Willy!
Yeah! Okay.
I knew it.
I was gonna say what the other one involved surfing, and then the other one involves a whale. And if I said a whale, you'd have fucking knew. Bridge, you know what year Free Willy came out?
1993.
It's the best year for movies. Jesus Christ.
Yo, I cannot wait to watch Jessie save this whale, and no one
Jessie,
ever.
I remember that. Damn.
I remember his name. And I just remember that, like, we still all love SeaWorld and nobody ever, like, changed anything from this movie. And I don't know why they didn't, because it was so inspiring. And I can't wait.
Well, Bridge, when a boy learns that a beloved killer whale is to be killed by the aquarium owners, the boy risks everything to free the whale. Holy shit, they're gonna kill the whale? The fuck?
I don't like no idea.
No wonder the killer whales are fucking beating up yachts. I mean, the shit they went through. Am I right?
I can't. That's generational trauma.
It really is. Oh my god, Lori Petty's in this movie too!
No, she's not! No, she's not. She was killing it in the 90s.
She's one of the fucking whale trainers.
My
God, I
God.
fucking forgot about that. That's so funny.
She's ridiculous.
The ocean, and what could we do?
Oh my God.
Yes, that is an iconic Michael Jackson song, and I have a funny story about that song that I'll tell you next time.
I can't wait. Wow. Yeah. Well,
Bridge.
Yeah. Well, I just can't.
I just want to say, if we're at a party with sketchy surfers and it's nighttime and someone says, hey guys, you know what we're about to do? We're about to go night surfing. I would fake a cramp and be like, uh-oh, my sister has to stay with me. Don't ask her why she doesn't want to go. Good luck with the sharks. And I would do that for you, and probably me too, because I don't think I want to go night surfing either. I'm scared.
Okay, thank you so
much. And I can't surf, you know?
Thank you so much. And for you,
it's for you.
I'm going to just buy you the most absurd hot pink surfboard and then just tell an FBI agent office that you're going to walk through it and just kind of pretend that you're Johnny Utah and just let them all clap at you. Because I just want you to get that glory.
Okay. Thank you so much. Love that. I love when 10-year-olds sell me surfboard memorabilia and give me life advice. And I don't love bully surfers. So they better get out of my fucking way, because I'm not available. And listeners, if you also felt like everybody yelled a little too much and maybe needs to conceptualize their feelings differently in this movie, and if you think that Bodhi and Johnny, they should have shot their shit at least once.
I mean,
slip a little tongue just once. See how you feel. If it's not for you, you turn away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, they were feeling something. And if you
Go
think
with
that
the current.
Lori Petty should have ran them over with her surfboard, and I don't know, like, became the president of the surfing industry because of the bullshit. If you think all that, you should write us a review. We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. So there is a form you can fill out. Your request goes on the list. And we look at the list every now and then. And we will do it eventually. Give us some other surfing movies, guys.
Yeah.
Because I can think of, the other one that was potentially going to be another pick. And that's one. And then I could think of even another one. And if I sat and thought harder, I could probably think of more. So they're out there,
Okay, get your helmets on. Let's do it.
Get those on. And, Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
Give us money.
Woo!
That money will go to making the FBI hire better people. Okay?
Yes. Sure will. Jesus.
And as well, we have merchandise.
Woo!
Okay? And honestly, I haven't updated it in a while, but it's really fun. You should just go back and check it out and just be silly and just enjoy it. Okay?
If you really feel inspired, Bridge, the only type of merch I would want in connection to this movie is for you to draw, like, even if it's an outline of Lori Petty, just her, like, shoulders up profile and her just, like, giving the finger and there's waves behind her. Like that.
We could probably do it.
Chef's kiss.
We could probably do it.
Or her on a surfboard and then giving the finger. But either way.
I love it.
I got you, Tyler. So check all that out, listeners. And we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week for Free Willy. Let's Free Willy. God. I want to understand how Michael Jackson and the song came to be for this child movie about a whale.
I don't know. See you there. Bye-bye. Don't jump out of a plane without a chute. Love you. Bye-bye.
I'm scared. Bye-bye.
I love you. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.